All right, hello everyone. Right away, I want to thank you for coming back to my channel for another video. Today, we are once again talking about something that is near and dear to my heart, and that's how to make yourself into a better version of you. Okay, so the exercise I'm going to be discussing today is one that I think has positively changed my life, and I mean that seriously. So hopefully I can convince you of its value because I really believe that engaging with the question I'm asking can make a positive difference on your life. That's my goal, at least. And this brings me to my next point. Right away, I'll ask the question that I know the algorithm is just dying for me to get to, which is the same one I always ask. Why do I think this video is worth your time? Here's why. I want to help you actualize your full potential and achieve your goals. I've designed this video to that end. I think that the question I'm going to ask can help put us in a better position to critically engage with what lies ahead of us, meaning the future. And by having a deeper understanding of the path that lies before us, I think the probability that we can put ourselves in a better position to actualize our full potential and achieve our goals is greatly increased. But in simpler terms, I'm focusing on how to help you make yourself a little bit better, on how to, familiarize yourself with the process of mastery that lies before you. That's really what I'm going for. And I'm going to be building on concepts that the writer Robert Greene describes in his book Mastery, which I've talked about to great lengths in a couple of other videos. But before we go any further, I'll say two quick things. The first, the contents of this video are taken from a lecture I gave during the fall of 2020 for a class I'm teaching at Johns Hopkins University titled Meanings to Being, Using Reading and Writing to Author the Self. It's the 5th weekly writing assignment that I've given to my students. The second point is, if you enjoyed this video, if you find it helpful or useful or interesting, please let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I'd love to talk to you about some of the ideas that interest you. Also hit the like button, the subscribe button, it really helps me out. Sorry to put that in the beginning of the video, but it is just really important to me, so hopefully it doesn't kind of pull you out of the video. But anyways, let's get into it. All right, so first things first, this week I asked my students to think back on a moment or a series of moments in their life where they can identify some arc of improvement. I asked them specifically to think about a time where they started something, something small like a sport they played as a kid or maybe a first job. I asked them to think about a time where they started something and after some significant amount of practice or time became better. I asked them to think about their arc of improvement, meaning the progression from maybe not so good or average, below average, whatever, a beginner, to relatively better at any skill or hobby or task in general. But I didn't just ask them to think about an iteration of that arc, I asked them to write about it. And I'll say now that maybe you don't like writing, I think that's fair, but I'm hoping you'll give this exercise a chance because I think it can offer you something valuable, which is a moment for reflection during your day. I teach writing classes at Johns Hopkins University. I love writing. I want to communicate my love for writing to you because I think it can help you improve yourself. I think that if you use writing properly, it will repay you for your time spent. And hopefully by the end of this video, you see what I mean. So let's dive in a little deeper. For class, I asked my students to write about an arc of improvement that comes to mind when they think back on their life. Again, whether that's in school or on a field or at a simple job, it doesn't matter. I just asked them to think about the process. But I didn't only ask them to think about it. I asked them to write about it. So I'll give you an example. The first job I worked was as a busser in a small family restaurant in the town that I grew up in. Not a very difficult job, not very complicated at all. When I started, I was just about the worst busser that you could imagine. I worked that job part-time for the better part of 3 years, if I remember correctly. And by the end of it, I can't exactly say I was the best busser, that side of the Mississippi, but I definitely wasn't the worst. And okay, yes, that probably seems a little bit silly. Fair point. It is a little silly, but it's also me just being honest. And I'm being honest because I think that if you're willing to take my advice, you can use writing as a meditative exercise so that you can learn for free right now from accessed memories. And in his book, Mastery, which I've talked about in other videos, as I've already said, Robert Greene writes about the value of reflecting back on iterations of the process of mastery in our own lives so that we might be able to project what we find in our own memories onto the future. And I think that's a really valuable exercise, but like I've already said, I think there's a way this thought exercise can be made even more effective. And that's by using writing as a self-authoring tool, the idea that I've kind of oriented my class around. So I think of writing, and I've said this before in other videos, I think of writing as being a more sophisticated form of thinking. So when we try to analyze a memory or a series of memories like Robert Greene suggests in Mastery, the fact that writing allows us to give form to our memories insofar as we can coherently get what's in our head onto the page means we're optimizing the time we spend thinking, because we aren't just letting the thoughts kind of fly past us. We're giving form to our memories, to our thoughts. We have to dedicate time and effort to linguistically organizing the idea, which is to say we assign descriptive words to the idea that's in our head. And in this way, I think we sharpen our understanding of what it is that we're actually talking about, or I guess writing about in this case. But now that I've established, I think, the value, let's say, of writing, let's jump back to where we were a second ago, writing about a process of improvement that we've experienced firsthand. This is something I'm kind of trying to take from Mastery by Robert Greene and put my own twist on it. Okay, so we're doing this. Why? Because writing can help us sharpen our understanding of just about anything if we can make proper use of the skill itself. And our goal is to use writing to explore our experience of the process of mastery sufficiently enough so that we might be able to offer a semantic explanation of our unique experience that's good enough to be abstracted across a variety of categories. Maybe that's a little confusing. I actually feel like I barely understand it myself, so I'll try to work it from a different angle, let's say. When we complete this exercise, we should write with the intention of understanding our memories as metaphors that can be used to help us in the future. The act of improving at different skills, insofar as I can tell, varies very little beyond, the particularities of each skill or job or hobby that is being improved upon. The explanation, the process remains the same. I think most of the time when improvements are made, honestly, it has to do with time spent and attention spent. But to some extent, these are just empty words. They might be valuable. I hope you think they're valuable, but I don't think the words are really being put to use until you try unpacking a time in your life when you can measure some arc of improvement at a skill or a trade or a job or, in a school subject, a hobby, whatever. Because writing, as I've already laid out, can sharpen our understanding of what it is that we're writing about, because it requires a more sophisticated kind of thinking. It's like weight training for our minds. And we can use writing to sharpen our understanding of the act of improvement as it manifested itself during a specific moment in our life. And if we can sharpen our understanding of a unique moment in our life, we can extrapolate out some sort of semantic explanation that's almost universally applicable, or ideally it's universally applicable, that is applicable across many categories of jobs and skills and trades and whatever else people can get better at over an extended period of time. If we try to do that, I think we put ourselves, or can put ourselves, in a better position to have the tables turn in our favor, because we can project the semantic explanation that we developed using the written word onto the future. We can bring what we learned from our memories with us everywhere we go in life. And that means the next time we want, or maybe need to improve at a skill or a trade or a job or at a subject in school, we can use the semantic explanation that we pulled from our past experiences to help us better navigate the waters. And I think, everybody, if they're willing to think deeply enough, I think everybody has those moments in their life where they can track some kind of arc of improvement. It's almost a universal experience, and I think that it's low cost, it's free, it's something that you can do right now that I really believe can put you in a better position to achieve your goals and actualize your full potential. I mean, that's what I say in almost every video. I want you to achieve your goals and I want you to actualize your full potential. And I think we can put ourselves in a better position to do those two things if we do the work that's required to more effectively navigate the waters ahead of us, to more effectively, improve our circumstances. And I think that we can do that by writing about an arc of improvement that we've experienced firsthand in our life, no matter how small it may be. Again, this is a process that I've tried to take from Mastery by Robert Greene and kind of put my own twist on it. So I hope you found it useful. But okay, that is everything that I've got. Before I go, I want to thank you, my wonderful viewer, for sticking with me to the end. I also want to thank my video editors, Bach and Joe. I couldn't do this without you guys. I really appreciate both of you. If you found this video interesting or useful or helpful, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Thanks again, everyone. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time.